Hello everybody, Mike with Fights with Friends. We are back. I took a little bit of a break. I figured Joe Rogan got a little bit of a break. MMA Junkie Radio got a little bit of a break. And we get a little bit of a break. We're coming back big today. I just interviewed Smilin Sam Alvey a few minutes ago. He's fighting legendary Antonio Rogerio Nogueira September 22nd on FS1, and he was kind enough to come on here to speak with us here on Fights with Friends in the 12th installment of Fighters with Friends. If you haven't checked out all the interviews on Fighters with Friends, go to that playlist now. Just go to the channel, go to playlists, and you'll see all the interviews from different fighters. This is actually the second time Sam Alvey's graced us with his presence, and he's as good as ever. I hope you guys enjoy this as much as I did. Let me know what you think down there in the comments, and definitely give Sam Alvey a thanks out there, and good luck on his fight and Antonio Rogerio Nogueira. Here's Sam Alvey.
I'm feeling pretty good.
Well, hey, that sounds great, and like I said, that's gonna, it's gonna get you up in the rankings some. And I know you don't like to talk about that. The last time I came on, you really didn't even want to talk about rankings. You kind of downplayed some of your victories. You're pretty, down to earth guy, and I appreciate that. But you're
I'm pretty humble and good looking.
you are my friend, but I mean, you're coming off of a big victory with Gian Vellante. I mean, this, obviously you're not looking past Nogueira because I know you, but I mean, you're putting yourself in a pretty good position and a division that's wide open right now.
Yeah, especially with DC probably never fighting light heavyweight again. The division is wide open because outside of DC, there's nobody that stands a foot taller than anyone else. So I'm as quickly as I can. I'm gonna get to that title.
I don't see him making that cut again. I don't think they have, especially when he's probably got bigger money fights. Possibly the Brock Lesnar. If he fights John Jones, I imagine that would be at heavyweight. I would assume at this point. But yeah, wide open. I mean.
Yeah, and honestly, there's no matchups at 205 that anyone really wants to see with DC anymore. He's kind of cleared out the division.
Very true. Very true. I mean, they've talked about Luke Rockhold coming up, but now he's talking about maybe staying at 185. And I mean, it could be Sam Alvey and maybe Alexander Gustafsson in there soon for the 205 championship.
You just tell me where to sign.
Hey, I would love to see it. I would absolutely love to see it. Tonight, I want to change the page a little bit and just get your opinion on something. Tonight, Ultimate Fighter starts back again. A lot of people are talking about this might be the last year for the Ultimate Fighter, but it is heavyweights. We got Robert Whitaker coaching against Kelvin. Oh yeah, coaching against Kelvin Gastelum, I believe, and then you have heavyweights there. What do you think? What do you think about that? Right now, as to where everything's kind of shifted, just as a fan, I'm a bigger fan of the Contender Series, but maybe because it's so new.
Yeah, I like the Ultimate Fighter. I always have. But like most people, season 1 through 4 were my favorites. And it was more of a reality show. If you remember, they had to be able to pick. They had a competition they had to do. They had to carry water. They had to do this, that. They made it more interesting. They made it more about the personality of the fighters, and they don't do that anymore. And they make it too much about the fights. And honestly, there are fights on all the time. Any day of the week, there's Fight Pass. There's now ESPN 1 through 8. You can watch fights all the time. It's lost some of the personality it once had. Where in the Contender, it doesn't have that much personality either, but you don't have to watch it for 12 weeks either. You just watch it one night. I don't know. I would like to see some tweaks of it made. Maybe sit out a year and then have a comeback season again. They could do some stuff that could reinvigorate it, I think.
Yeah, I'm sure ESPN probably has some great ideas too. They could work with. They're bringing back the Contender boxing series from way back. I don't know if you remember that with Sugar Ray Leonard. That was. He hosted it. That was actually the original. It's called the Contender Series. But yeah, I remember that first Ultimate Fighter season, and I literally became a fan. Well, at least a follower. A fan of most, or at least a follower of every single contestant that was on that show. I mean, it captivated you.
Oh, it did. They were. It was wonderful, and you liked the people. And the people all had a personality, and they all had talent and skill, and not now a lot of the guys are just skilled, which is great, but I still like, if I'm going to watch TV, I want to watch seasoned personality.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, man, that ESPN deal coming up. That's it's a lot of fights. I mean, looking at 35 fights on TV, and they're talking about 12 pay-per-views, 47 fights, I don't know, at least 5 weeks during the year. Now, without divulging any inside information you might already have, do you think that's too many fights? Do you think maybe we're heading towards having less pay-per-views in the future? Because I've talked about this, and I kind of felt this way.
You know what? I don't know. That there's so many more talented people coming up. It's getting easier and easier to fill cards just because people are now doing MMA from the time they can walk. They used to do soccer or football or basketball, and now they're doing MMA. And so it's only a matter of time till you could have, big fights every week of the year.
Yeah, and that's the fan base is definitely going to grow with this ESPN deal. I mean, it's absolutely tremendous. I'm excited about the ESPN Plus deal. I think that's $5 a month as it stands right now for 20 fights during the year. I mean, it's an incredible deal, and from what I understand, they're going to show it all the way from the undercard all the way through the main card.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Yeah. My only thinking is for, sometimes for the casual fan, like you talk about creating that story and having that build up. If you have, without having that time in between fights and in between events, I can see people maybe, there's UFC this weekend. But there's another one next weekend, so I'll catch that one.
And it's going to be on the fighters to make them want to see theirs. I really do go out of my way to try and make sure people know who I am, and try to make sure people want to watch me fight. And more fighters are going to have to do that. They're going to have to understand that they have to be good at their job in the octagon, but they've got to be willing to do it outside of the octagon too.
Yeah, you've definitely been one of the best at that. You have an incredible Twitter too. Anybody who's not following Sam Alvey on Twitter, I'll leave a link out there. But he's got a great Twitter. You got a great following on social media. I did see before today that you just had an interview yesterday about 23 hours ago. I purposely didn't watch it, so if I repeat any of the questions, forgive me, but I didn't want to be influenced by it. So
no, you're golden. You're golden.
So, but man, as this thing goes global, because I've heard people talk about, and Dana White just went, as you probably know, he just went on. It's the inspirational speaker, Robin. Now I don't know. I can't believe it slipped my name, but he just went on and he said he actually believes that the UFC would be Tony Robbins should be evaluated at $7 billion. And I heard some people come out and say, maybe it's kind of, reaching its cap. But when you talk about globally, I think there's a ton of room to grow.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, right now they only have a card or two in China. They only have, they have their first card in all of Russia. So I mean, there's a lot of room for this sport to grow.
Yeah, I thought that was brilliant putting Mark Hunt on that too. I know he's getting a little older, but I hope that's a really entertaining fight against a great Russian fighter.
Yeah.
So I mean that's a smart move, and that's a week before. Of course, we have to plug that the bigger fight. Antonio Nogueira has the privilege of stepping into the cage with the great Smilin Sam Alvey. So.
That's all mine.
Hey, like I said, you're getting up there though. In the rankings, you're only 32. You got times on your side, and I like the way you're going. What does your training look like right now? Obviously, I don't want to divulge too much into your training to give away any secrets right now. But what does a training day look like for you right now?
Usually I run in the morning, and then I have my first MMA workout 10:30. I'll teach at night, and I'll finish up with my third workout. A couple days a week I do strength and conditioning also, so I just keep myself good and tired most of the time, and feeling good.
I notice almost every fighter that I talk to now, and it wasn't this way I think even a few years ago, or maybe they didn't just talk about it as much, are teaching all the time. What do you think that brings to you as a fighter? Do you think that opens up something inside your mind to help you grow?
I don't know about that. I just like doing it.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's any secret to it. I've always enjoyed it. It keeps me busy, make a little extra money on the side. I love my students, so that's really why I do it.
Yeah, I know you found you've had some great students. I know you had Chris that was on the Contender Series, and I don't know what the status of that is, but honestly, I will say I thought he was on. I thought he was on because I believe I was messaging you at that moment, and I'm like, he's on.
Yeah, he definitely should have been.
Yeah, so is he still... I don't know if you want to talk about it. Is he still considering retirement, or is he still considering coming back, or does he really want to talk about it?
He's going to fight again.
Okay.
Yeah, he's going to fight again.
Well, that's good. I definitely want to see him back in there again. And like I said, anytime, of course, he wants to come on the show, I'd love to have him.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I'm sure I can set that up, or help set that up.
That would be good. Yeah, I mean, I understand, emotions. I mean, I haven't obviously fought at that level, but I mean, I've competed in boxing and martial arts, and I know it's hard emotionally to take things when you put everything into it, as you know. And so I imagine that had been a tough place to be in, but I hope to see him in the UFC one day. Hopefully, you cornering him.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure he deserves to be there. I'm sure I'll be there in the corner when he's there. We'll have a long reign together in the UFC.
That would be great. I would love to see it. Are you able to eat a little more now that you've been 205 for a while?
Yeah, I still have a pretty strict diet, but I do get to I get to eat more of what the healthy food, and it's really a lot more fun. I have a lot more energy now. I've heard a lot of fighters talk about changing their diet to be more like ketogenic, cutting more carbs out. I don't think you were heavy on carbs to begin with, but as science has changed the last couple of years, have you tweaked your diet much, or has it pretty much stayed the same? Well, I work with George Lockhart, and I have for a few years now, and the ketogenic. It's not as great a diet as everyone thinks it is, because if you ever cheat, if you ever have a carb, your body just absorbs it. So it's like the week of my cut, it's fairly ketogenic. I'm just cutting out the carbs and reducing the sugar, and I'll lose weight because of it. But during camp, I don't do a ton of bread anymore. I never really did. It was more just to get my carbs through my veggies.
Yeah, that's always kind of been would be a concern of mine, with doing the ketogenic diet. But I have concerns, about doctors and a lot of people getting really excited. Oh, everybody should be on the ketogenic diet. Like you say, you can have all these fats and things. But now we know through science, okay, you eat all those eggs, you eat your fatty ribeyes and all those things. Then you decide you're going to cheat and you go and have that big soda. Now you have an issue.
Yeah, and it's just, honestly, if you want to diet, just diet right, eat the right foods, and it's really more about portion than anything.
Yeah, that's that's easier said than done for me. You're a lot more disciplined than I am in that manner. Maybe I need to be more busy. Maybe I need to be training 8 hours a day. But
yeah, your diet just has to you reflect how much time you can spend on it.
Yeah. So, what advice would you give to? Because I have a lot of people coming up asking me, and I only have the information I get from you guys, from fighters, but younger fighters, not just from in the United States, but recently I have from a lot of other countries that are coming up. Even under 18, or just coming up as a fighter. What advice would Smilin Sam Alvey give to 18, 19-year-old fighter coming up?
Real simple advice: wrestle. That's pretty much the advice I would give you. Join the high school wrestling team, go on to college, and wrestle. Don't worry about anything else until you're good at wrestling. That would pretty much be my advice to anyone. Wrestle.
That's definitely been a great formula for a lot of UFC champs for a very, very, very long time.
Yeah. I think all the champs, all the male champs right now are wrestlers, or some form of a takedown specialist. It's really crazy.
That's true. What do you? I'm gonna put you on the spot here for a minute, because I know this is a little bit of a controversial. But if you scored it, who did you have winning the Henry Cejudo Demetrius Johnson fight, or did you score it?
I had Cejudo winning. I thought it was very close. I could understand a split decision, but I had Cejudo winning. I thought, honestly, he landed more, and he secured at least 3 of the rounds with the last minute takedown. So I had him winning.
Well, I feel redeemed, because I called it 3 rounds to Cejudo, 2 for Cejudo also, and my good friend and, of course, man of many fights, Jeremy Horn, kind of lit me up a little on Facebook. He vehemently disagreed with me, but I definitely thought it could have gone either way, and I wouldn't have argued with it, but I think it was definitely a close decision either way.
Yeah, close decision. When it went to a split decision, I thought for sure Demetrius was going to get it, because if you want to beat the champ, you've got to beat the champ. And here he kind of squeaked it out. So it was nice to see what I thought the judges get correctly.
Yeah, that's something I've always heard in boxing, and it's kind of been. I don't know. It's not actually into the rules, I don't think, but it's kind of like built into rules. Like, people kind of take it for granted. I don't know that in the UFC, I don't know that goes into the decision making when they make the decisions. Honestly,
it's not supposed to, but I think it does. There's too many close decisions that honestly, Wonder Boy should have beaten Woodley their first fight. But if you're going to beat the champ, you got to beat the champ. And you could even argue Hendricks beat GSP, except if you're going to beat the champ, you got to beat the champ. There's a lot of close decisions that you got to. That I think, because he's the champ, he gets edged out.
Well, yeah, Gustafsson and John Jones, that's another very close one. So,
Yeah, indeed.
A few years back, but yeah, I didn't really think of that. That's a good point on Woodley and Stephen Thompson. What do you think about Woodley and Darren Till?
I don't think Darren Till has earned the title shot yet, but I don't know who has in the division. Honestly, Colby Covington probably should get the title shot, because he has the interim belt, but I don't know if that's good getting stripped. I don't think you should get a title shot off a missed weight cut. And he did.
Yeah, I completely agree with you on that. And I mean, I know obviously, there was circumstances, he had his child that night. He had an incredibly, difficult weight cut, but he was that close to begin with. And you're right, you've always said in the past, I think you said when you're on the show before, it's fighters' job to make their weight.
It is. It's their job, and if you don't, you shouldn't be rewarded for failing. And he might have. I mean, his wife was in trouble or what. I mean, it's still your job. You got to figure it out. You got to figure it out. And if he chose his wife over the weight cut, and I understand, I would make the same choice, but I wouldn't get a title shot afterwards.
Yeah, no, I thought that was very strange when I seen the announcement there. I know you're getting short on time here. I do want to ask you, do you have a prediction on that fight?
I'm going to go with Woodley. As always, when in doubt, go with the wrestler. Woodley's a real good wrestler. He's been standing a lot more lately, but he's still a very dangerous wrestler.
And I am in agreement with you again there, and I think Darren Till will be exposed by Tyron Woodley's wrestling, honestly.
I think so too. No one's been able to really hold him down yet, but so somebody will figure that out.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, hey, is there anything you want to shout out there or let people know to look up? I'm going to put your Twitter down here to follow you on the Twitter. Anything else you want people to know?
Hit me up on Instagram or Twitter. I'm at Smilin Sam. I love hearing from you guys, and yeah, I love liking what you guys are posting too.
Hey, well, thank you very much. I appreciate you so much being on the show, and good luck on your fight on the 22nd.
Thank you very much, sir.
All right, we'll catch you soon, sir. Thank you. Bye. Everybody, thank you for tuning into the show. Thank you again to 205-pound contender Smilin Sam Alvey. And as always, I love you, I respect you, and I'll see your fine asses later.